What's going on, guys? Bengal here, coming at you with a video, real special one for me. It's a collab with Daniel Jeremiah, who unconsciously over nearly a decade has really helped me get into the draft and kind of helped build my love for the draft and everything surrounding the college football to NFL transition. So it is really an absolute pleasure to bring this video to you guys. Check out all the links in the description. I'm sure you're already familiar with him, but if you're not, I really do think he's the best in the biz. So check it out down below, and let's just hop straight into the video. There is a technical difficulty about midway through, and by technical difficulty, I mean I'm just a moron, and I accidentally take the wrong player. But if you watch the video, that's cleared up, so hopefully you enjoy it nonetheless. Just a minor blip, and yeah, I'm an idiot. Also, my hair in the back looks like alfalfa from the Little Rascals in this video. Couldn't see the camera, so I swear, if any of you, even one of you, make a comment about it, I'm gonna be upset. Sleep well at night knowing that. All right, guys, big guest on the channel, jumping right in, joined by NFL Network media personality, former scout, Move the Sticks podcast. You guys can find that. I'll link everything down below. Rich Eisen antagonist. Am I getting everything here?
Yeah, I think I could say a Rhett Lewis and Bucky Brooks antagonist, a Charles Davis antagonist. That's like the most fun thing about my gig is just is ribbing my buddies. So yeah, I think that's an appropriate introduction.
All right, awesome. I think we covered everything then, and we're gonna do a live mock draft. I'm gonna have odds. You're gonna have evens.
Yep.
And we'll kick things off. I'll go chalk, and I'll keep it Aiden Hutchinson, and we'll see where it goes from there.
Okay. All right. You go Aiden Hutchinson. I'm with you on that one. That's what I would do there. Now I've got a choice to make here. So are you gonna do the honors for me here? I think I'm looking at a couple options here. First of all, in terms of how I look at these players, Ikwanu's my highest rated player, but they're not taking an offensive lineman again. So I think it comes down to whether or not you want to take a corner. You're hoping you're going to be healthy there next year. But man, yeah, with Okudah. So I'm going to go. Give me Walker. I'm going to take Trayvon Walker. They got to get a pass rusher. That's where I'm going.
Do you think? Yeah, you're talking about corner. I mean, are you expecting Okudah to come back and play to the level of his?
He wasn't playing well even before the injury.
He was getting
That's
torched.
The scary thing. Yeah.
Do you even think he's an outside guy?
Well, I'm not so sure he's not a safety when it's all said and done.
Okay.
But I mean, look, he was physical. He was physical and could find and play the ball. And man, the combine workout for him was like oh crud. And I have a big grade on him. But he did not look fluid at all there. And then I saw kind of that version. Sometimes you see stuff on tape, and then you see the combine, and you flip a coin on which one of those versions you're going to get when you get on NFL field. And I was like, the combine version showed up in Detroit. So I wouldn't rule out a corner there, but I'll go with Walker.
Yes. So, I mean, Sauce Gardner probably had to check off some boxes for you. Then.
Oh, yeah. And he would be my highest rated player on the defensive side of the ball. Gardner's my third player, so I could make that argument. I just think they feel they need to impact the quarterback a little bit. So that's they're hoping and wishing here on Trayvon Walker.
Well, you mentioned that Ikwanu would be your highest rated player here, and that's interesting for the Texans for me because I feel like they're in an interesting spot where if they were taking Ikwanu, maybe they wouldn't even play him at tackle, even though, he could play tackle, played left tackle last season at NC State.
His guard tape is ridiculous, dude. Like, he is an animal at guard. So
that's going to obviously
anybody that wants to play him at guard.
Yeah, it's going to clean up some of those pass protection issues at left tackle. I don't think I'm going to go Ikwanu just to mix it up on the channel. I do so many of these. Far more than you. So, I add a little spice to it every now and again. I don't want to do Ikwanu. I just recently did that. I want to address the defensive side of the ball.
Okay.
And I am going to end up taking a corner really high here. I'm going to go Sauce Gardner at number 3. I feel like good fit for the Lovie Smith defense. And they just are not that solid at the position. You got a guy or two, but I mean, nothing like the potential that Sauce Gardner could potentially offer you.
Yeah, I like it. Since we're kind of on this theme, let's switch it up a little bit. With the Jets at 4, I'm actually going to go Garrett Wilson here, and I'm going to get the wide receiver in the fold. Everybody assumes they kind of wait till 10 for the wideout, but when you look at Atlanta being an obvious wideout team, and there's other wild cards in there,
Giants maybe.
They might just say screw it. We want to get the best wide receiver in the draft class. If next year at this time, Zach Wilson takes the next step and they, win 6 games, 5-6 games, there's such a positivity around the organization. If you go out and you go defense here and the offense is kind of stagnant and you win the same amount of games, but you're questioning whether Zach Wilson's taking the next step, you feel totally different. So I think offense gets the priority here, and they just get the whiteout right here.
I mean, Wilson would be fun from a pure media standpoint.
Yeah, there you go. Good
that headline
there.
Giants at 5. I am a Giants fan, despite the name, unfortunately. 2 picks at 5 and 7. Looks like I get both of them here, which is...
Oh, you're taking Thibodeau here.
Right.
I already know you're taking Thibodeau.
I think I'm going to have to, especially I took Sauce Gardner higher than I've ever taken him in the draft, and I think maybe that would have been in play at 5 or 7. But I'm a little bit worried about Carolina at 6 taking a tackle, and for that reason, I actually am going to go offensive line here.
Oh, wow.
And I am going to go with Ekwonu. Giants have done a lot of work on the offensive line in free agency. Nothing really solid other than Glowinski at right guard. So Ekwonu can come in, play right tackle as Andrew Thomas develops on that left side. I like Ekwonu here, and especially with Jermaine Johnson on the board, I don't really feel pressed to go edge at 5, even though, Thibodeau has all-world potential.
Yeah, I like it. All right, so now I've got Carolina. This is the first time the quarterback discussion comes in play. We're not doing trades here, but they would be my most likely trade team. If you could convince somebody that either wanted a receiver or a tackle to come up ahead of this next group of picks that we have, I could see that, trying to be their move if they can find a partner. I think there's a good chance to take a quarterback. I just don't think they do it here at 6. I think they would try and trade back. So if they're stuck and they've got a stick and pick, I talked to somebody at an all-star game and with the Panthers, and they were like, dude, this offensive line, numero uno, that's our focus. We've got to solve this. We've got to fix it. They were so obsessed with that. So I'm just going to go ahead and give him Evan Neal here. Give him a tackle.
Makes sense. Going to keep it easy. You probably don't want Cam Irving starting at left tackle if you can help it.
No.
Giants at 7. I mean, Kayvon Thibodeau still available. I'm going to keep it easy. Go Kayvon Thibodeau.
Yep. And I think it's fascinating with Thibodeau. Like, I can make a case he goes 2. I could make a case, could potentially go 3 or 4. I can make really anywhere with him. Like, he's going to be one of the fascinating ones to watch here and see what happens.
Yeah, he's been a name that we've seen forever. It felt like, as soon as he was on the field at Oregon as a freshman, it was just like, okay, that's what a top 5 pick looks like. And now it only seems, as we get further into the draft process, that his name starts to slide down a little bit more, and some of these other names start to rise up. The Walker thing is just so fascinating because he flashes as a pass rusher on tape, and he's really good as a run defender. And then the athleticism, especially moving back into space as he did at Georgia a lot, it's like, how many guys can do that? And especially, like, the athletic testing backed it up, obviously. 3-cone, probably the most impressive of anything that he did. And that's, a 6'5", 270-pound guy that ran 4.5. Just nuts.
Yeah, it's pretty freaky, man. I get both sides of this. Is kind of take you inside the draft room. Like, this is one of those situations where, like, you're a scout and you get on a guy's, somewhat early, you put a big grade on him, and there's lower grades, and you feel like you're lobbying for him and you're fighting for him and you're fighting for him. You guys are too low. We got to get him up. And then you come to your next round of meetings, and the coaches would have done evaluations, and all of a sudden the coaches say you have him as the number 1 player in the draft. You're like, whoa, no. Like he's like, I really like him, but now we've taken this a little bit too far. So he's my 6th overall player. And I do believe he's got a legit shot to go number 1, but I could never pull the trigger on him over Aiden Hutchinson, even though I admit he could end up, there's more in his body, so to speak, but
even the arms are crazy long. It's like John Jones wingspan, something
he's
wild.
Got pass rush, and you talk to a lot of guys that have done this. It's an artistry, like those guys are technicians and they're artists as well as athletes.
Like Von Miller has that, like, summit, the pass rush summit.
Yes. Like, he's just, you don't see it yet. So you're betting on the come here. You're a little bit of hoping and wishing. And I just, man, with the first overall pick, I don't want to hope and wish.
Yeah.
All right. Who am I up here? 8?
You're up. Falcons.
I can go I know you're not a Kyle Hamilton guy.
It's not
Kyle Hamilton. No. You're not allowed. No, you have.
It's either I hate him or I love him.
You're not allowed middle ground. There's no such thing.
I mean, I gave him a round 1 grade, but I don't see him as the over the top guy that others seem to.
I like him a little bit more, but he's not gonna. I don't think he's gonna go in the top 10. Drake London. this team has no wideouts. Drake London and Jermaine Johnson would be the other two options here. I just, golly, I don't know what they're doing at wide receiver. So
You don't like Olamide Zacchaeus as wide receiver one?
I'm going to take a little bit of a pass on that one. Let's go Drake London here. This is what I'm doing. I'm just taking all the wideouts off the board here. This is what happens when you get a former quarterback doing a mock draft.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even give you the App State credit.
No, there's not much credit to be given.
Come on. That was a first-round grade. If
I made
scouts could see it.
I made Kuiper's book, but I think it was a favor because I had a relationship with Mort at that time. So I was like one of the last guys that somehow he put my name in there.
I got a draft comp for you then. Mike Piazza drafted as a favor. Maybe the same deal. That's your pro comp, Mike Piazza?
Yeah, same guy, basically the same. I was not in Baywatch, but anyways. All right, what do you got here? You're picking 9?
Seahawks is interesting. I mean, I like the talent available. I think there are 3 guys, or maybe even 4 guys that actually really stand out. And it just depends if we want to take a shot at quarterback, go Malik Willis. Cross, I think, immediately shores up left tackle, or at least that's the idea going forward. I think Stone Forsythe might be left tackle one right now, which is not ideal, but, young guy, could develop. Jermaine Johnson, obvious pass rush need, could just be the best player available as well. And then Derek Stingley Jr. I think it might be a little bit early for him, but if you're going to bank on upside, he's got the size, athleticism that Seahawks might covet at the position. I think I am going to take what I feel would be a safe pick here and go Charles Cross.
Okay.
Johnson in play, I really is. Obviously, a lot of those guys are. Could be a wild card spot as well, trade down spot. If I'm Seattle, probably. But I like Charles Cross if we're sticking at 9.
Yeah, he's an interesting guy. I'm not as high on him as some others. I see.
You have him in the 20s, maybe?
I'm looking at it right now. He's my 23rd guy. I just don't think anything he does is real dynamic or explosive. And I see guys kind of knock him off his pins a little bit. So that kind of worried me. And I always tell people there's a wound. There's like an Andre Dillard wound from playing in that offense, that air raid offense. And I whiffed on him. State. So I'm sure that, I'm probably unfairly punishing Cross a little bit for that on my end. But I see what you're doing there. They definitely need a tackle. I get to go to 10, and I would have been sweating bullets, and I would be high-fiving everybody in the room if I go receiver at 4 and then Jermaine Johnson makes it to me at 10. Then that's just run the card up there. Take Jermaine Johnson. You get your edge rusher and your receiver maybe in a different order than everybody thought, but I would be very happy with that combo.
I think it makes a lot of sense for those reasons. Commanders, still got to work on that. Commanders at 11. I mean, I got to get the Guardians into my head for Cleveland with baseball too.
Oh gosh,
it's a mess. You call a team one thing for so long. Raiders moving to Las Vegas. Chargers back, moving as well. I don't know. It's a lot of stuff to remember. Muscle memory is difficult. But Commanders at 11. I don't know. I don't hate the idea of taking a wide receiver. I just feel like, I like the potential of Diami Brown as their deep threat. If Curtis Samuel can stay healthy, but that's looking to be a big if. Love Scary Terry. I don't know that you necessarily have to take a corner here, but it's just kind of one of those weird situations where, I don't know, is this team an outside shot at, like, real outside shot maybe, but if Malik Willis is still on the board at this point, or any of the quarterbacks, I don't know what their future is with Wentz. Do you see
it just feels, though, it feels like they think they're ready to win right now. I think the Wentz thing kind of, shows that. The fact they're paying him what they're paying him. Ron Rivera, where he's at in his career, the defense is ready to win right now. It feels like in a cruddy division that this is more of a pick for right now than for the future. That's why I haven't had them down as a QB team.
Okay. Well, pick for right now feels a little bit tougher at receiver then, because, Jameson Williams, he should be around ready to go. But I don't know. This feels like a difficult spot. Their offensive line really isn't too bad, even with losing Sheriff. They were graded out pretty high.
That's one of those deals, though, where and I love PFF. I use a lot of their information. It's a huge help. But that's one of those ones where
offensive line grading, don't they grade completely differently versus how coaches and
it's just different
evaluate?
And I know there's guys working hard there, and there's so much good stuff there. I just know I can't tell you the number of times where I'm getting ready to do a Charger game or doing an Amazon game, a Thursday night game, and you're studying that team that week. And I always just look for different pieces of information. And I'm like, man, this grade on this offensive line is one thing. I'm watching it. It sure does not feel like that. That was kind of that group for me.
Yeah, I like to. I don't know if you know Brandon Thorne.
Yeah,
On
yeah, he does a good
Yeah,
job.
I think he's phenomenal. So that's kind of where I've learned a lot on the offensive line. But who would even be in play here? I don't know that they're looking to take a tackle necessarily. If you look on in the interior, feels a little bit earlier for any of the guards. I don't really know what you do here if you're Washington.
Yeah, I mean, I think it could be a trade back scenario. They could take your favorite player in the draft, Kyle Hamilton,
Kyle,
would would
see,
would
man,
be
you're gonna
would be
get
an
me killed
option.
here in the
I
comments. I'm
really
gonna.
am. Let's see. That's what I do. I mean, I like to just poke and prod.
Oh man.
No, I mean, yeah, you can look at the corner options would be intriguing as well. They can't surely. I know Rivera loves taking linebackers. He did it at Carolina multiple times.
Yeah, Jamin Davis
I just
last
can't
year.
see them going back to that well again this year.
No, you know what? I love Trent McDuffie. I think he's right in that CB1
Yeah.
conversation. Well, and I don't even know that he's necessarily this great boundary corner when he can do so many other things really
He
well.
might be he might be the best nickel in the league within a year.
Yeah, big Trent McDuffie guy. I think I am just going to go Jamison Williams. If his
Okay,
rehab is
fun.
going as it's
Yeah.
supposed to be, and it seems like he's way ahead of schedule, arguably the best deep threat in the draft. I know I have the Diami Brown thing I just talked about, but I feel a little bit weird if we have to stick at this spot. So I just
Yeah.
might go with arguably the best player available at a position of need.
All right. I'm gonna follow this up, and I'm actually gonna go McDuffie next here. Him and Stingley on the board is tough. I know Stingley, gosh, 2019 Stingley would have been long gone, but McDuffie's too clean. He's too clean of a player for me, so I'm not gonna pass him up here. Take the corner.
Yeah, I think that's extremely fair. And it's like McDuffie's really good too. I feel like, especially with this draft network rankings, I happen to disagree with them in a lot of places a lot. But I feel like McDuffie ran, nothing super impressive at the combine. He goes from a top 10 player or close to
Yeah,
it
but he's
to like
faster than that.
25. And it's when you see,
Yeah.
he's got maybe the best closing speed of any DB in the entire draft. I mean, you see him on some of these blitzes or they're shutting down screens. McDuffie flies. So
His GPS stuff's good. Like all the teams have all the GPS
yeah,
numbers from the fall, and his play speed's fine. Like he's excellent. So I wouldn't worry about it.
yeah, I love him. Texans at 13, interesting spot. Again, it just feels like a best player available with the holes in this team overall. I think I did a mock with Brett Coleman really recently. Took Kyle Hamilton at this spot, so I'm gonna go ahead and change that. And I think I'm gonna end up going with Jordan Davis. Just
Okay.
I mean, freak athlete. Brett seems to like him as a three tech at times. I'm not sure that he's all that yet. Pretty much just see him as a nose with potential upside just because of athleticism. But with the Texans here, just maybe the best player available. That's kind of how I've been operating out, throughout this mock draft. So I really don't hate Jordan Davis here. I don't love it. For me, it'd be too early to take what I view to be only a nose, but they get a guy like Vita Vea. I mean, Vita Vea has completely been worth his draft selection for the
Oh my
Bucks, and he
gosh,
went
yes.
like
And there
12 or
was
13.
pushback on that. If you remember, there was
Mm-hmm.
pushback on that selection.
But I don't think anyone could hate on that now. He's been a key
No,
piece
gosh,
of that
no. Yeah.
defense.
He's a freak.
So I'll use the same logic. I'll go Davis here at 13.
All right. Now I'm in an interesting spot with Baltimore. Man, I could go in a couple different areas. Kyle Hamilton just sticking out there. They
As your
love
potential
corners.
Chuck Clark replacement,
Yeah, Jamison Williams is gone, right?
11.
Man, and they've invested so much in the wideouts. Gosh.
Yeah, I like Tylan Wallace for the future as well as a receiver 3-4. I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, I no, they've got dudes. All right, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go again. Just kind of switch it up for us a little bit here. I'm
Sure.
gonna go with Devontae Wyatt here with this pick. So we'll go back to back Georgia DTs.
I like Wyatt too. I think he's the
Super
better of the two.
explosive.
And yeah, pass rush chops as well. That'd be a really
So
good
he
fit in the
was my
Baltimore defense as well. Well, I guess they don't have Wink anymore, so he's on the Giants now. I don't know what their
my
defense gonna look like
yeah, but that their defense is their defense. I mean, there's a lot of similarities to
personnel
when I was
wise.
there when I
Yeah.
started there in 2003. So you get Calais Campbell back. You brought back Michael Pierce. But Calais is probably his last run here. So getting
Mm-hmm.
another big dude in there. They like Medipwike. They like to roll all those guys through. So just give him a big explosive dude.
Yeah, I like that. Eagles at 15. Probably a little bit frustrated with a lot of these receivers off the board at this point. But with those guys going, leaves other players available. Kyle Hamilton,
Yeah.
Derek Stingley Jr., if you're going to take a shot. They have options here. Maybe even Karlaftis, how he loves guys up front.
I wouldn't sleep on Olave there in this scenario either.
Really?
I wouldn't sleep on it.
Well, oh yeah, with the Saints coming up, could definitely consider taking a receiver. You're trying to lead me in that direction, and I'm going to give you.
No, I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you that when we get to the draft.
Listen, you're going to give me the Kyle Hamilton stuff. I'm going to here's your guy. Here's Kyle Hamilton.
All right,
have a
there
safety.
We go. I like that. I like that. Okay, that's tremendous value in my opinion here. Okay, nice. Who do I have?
Third
next?
Round guy.
I've got the Saints, right? Is that who I've got?
Saints.
All right, Saints
first
are
of
up.
2.
They feel like they're ready to win right now. I don't think we have no quarterbacks, right? All the quarterbacks sitting out there.
Yep. Willis, Pickett, Ritter, all of them.
All right. I'm looking at this. You just took Hamilton. He was sticking out like a sore thumb on my list. So I'm going to cross him out, and I am going to go. I'm gonna go Olave here. Give me Olave.
So what's the deal with the Saints team? I mean, they acquired extra.
Right
are they moving up? Or they traded up?
I don't think
stick?
so. I don't think so. When they made the move, I thought, okay, this is a move for a move. And then the more I talked to, I think I tweeted out, I talked to like 6 GMs. I'm like, what am I missing here? What's the next move? And they're like, nah, like they think, Jeff Ireland, Mickey Loomis, they think that this team's right there. They've beat Tampa, 4 times in a row in the regular season. So they're like, if this is the best that the division has to offer, we're right there. And it's not like they were getting elite quarterback play in those games. So they feel like Jameis is going to be fine and the defense is ready to rock. So they felt like if they just get a couple solid starters, that would be all they'd need. So I think they're just going to stick and pick.
Yeah, Jameis got LASIK and now he can actually see who he's throwing to. So it's probably, you're saying wide receiver maybe with 16 and then the best of any tackle that falls to 19.
Yeah,
maybe?
I mean, you could look at a couple different areas with that next pick. You could look at linebacker. Wouldn't shock me either.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, Demario Davis is still elite, but getting older for sure. And then what else do you have there? All right, you're up at I'm up at 17.
Yeah, you're up.
I'm gonna just rush the card in as well. Bet on upside. Go Trevor Penning, right tackle. No more Brian Bulaga. I think it makes sense.
Yeah, I like that one. The other thing with them, I'd just be, as somebody who calls the Charger games, I'm selfishly hoping that somehow Jameson is there just for the fun factor.
But Herbert can do all this with random deep threats.
I know,
random, so to speak.
I know, but they just have never had like that pure big time elite speed guy. Like,
you probably miss Travis Benjamin every day.
Yes, well, yeah. So it's the reliable hands that you love.
Oh yeah, of course.
All right, so I've got the Eagles up.
Yep. So Kyle Hamilton at 15.
Kyle Hamilton at 15. Oh man. So you'd really like to get a pass rusher here, but
too early for Mafe.
Yeah, that coffee's a little rich for me. I think at this point in time, I think Stingley's still out there, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I think I would take Stingley.
Double dip on DBs.
He's been punished enough, and I'm gonna have Stingley and I'm gonna have Hamilton, and we've kind of remade this secondary on the fly.
It feels like it'd be tough to see him drop out of the top 20.
Yeah, I can't see that happening.
Kyle Hamilton and Derek Stingley. Eagles fans gonna love this mock.
You got to go up against the Cowboys. They want to throw the ball all over the yard. Now you've got some guys that you can kind of match up, so that'd be fun.
All right, Saints at 19. Now, I would like to go Dax Hill here. Just replace Marcus Williams, maybe. But they have like a guy in Chauncey Gardner-Johnson to play that nickel role already, kind of. So I think Dax Hill would be my free safety in this scenario. Yeah. Marcus May, strong side. But I don't know. I really want to go out and I want to get a left tackle, a draft for need. But there's not a ton here. Talking about maybe stretching for Ryman. Maybe you're moving, Tyler Smith at 19 feels real early for Tyler. It's a tough spot. I don't know. I think Wyatt's off the board too. It feels too early for Travis Jones. I might just end up going Dax Hill, free safety.
Okay.
I don't see, this was tough because in the mock I did with Brett as well, I keep going back to that. Great for You guys check out if you're watching this at home. Watch that video. Woo! But they're a tough team to pick for outside of the obvious receiver when all these tackles are off the board.
Yeah, there's so many different ways you can think about that, and so many different ways you can go. But I think
I
can't
mean,
go wrong just taking a really good football player.
Devin Lloyd
Yeah.
right there would have been pretty good too. But give you something to
All
work with
right.
here at 20.
I
21.
got to go quarterback, right? We've got to have a quarterback
Yeah,
go.
Willis on the board, Pickett.
Yeah, I've got Willis and Pickett. I've got Pickett in their backyard. I've got Willis with more, more upside, what you can dream on there. I think everybody's connected them to Willis. I think I'm going to switch it up with a defensive head coach. I'm going to say he wants somebody that he can, maybe put a little more trust in to be able to get on the field right away with their group. I think Pickett's got a chance to come in there and win that job, take it from Trubisky. And then I think you got a chance, just protect the football. Let's rely on our defense, make good decisions. I just think it could take a little bit longer for Willis. So I'm gonna switch it up there and say Kenny Pickett.
Yeah, I can't read is the big problem. Letters are tough. I accidentally took Malik Willis.
You took Malik Willis.
Yeah, I didn't mean to.
Go Malik Willis.
I really didn't mean to.
We can go there. I can make, again, you take Malik Willis because you want somebody that can really move and can run and complement the group that you already have. See, there we go.
This is frustrating.
Just a little editing. That's all we have.
Yeah, we were going to put on our imagination caps maybe and call that Kenny Pickett.
You just got to just.
Yeah.
I'll
fix that in post. We'll see. Patriots at 21.
All right, what do you got?
It feels really hard to pass on a corner here. But Devin Lloyd's available, has the size that New England covets at the position. Dante Hightower's not going to play forever. I think Devin Lloyd, seeing what that guy does, could be pretty good for his development. I don't know. I think it's probably between just Andrew Booth Jr. and Devin Lloyd. I think because I usually let him drop, I'm going to go Devin Lloyd here at 21.
Okay.
And I think he's worth the selection. Again, he's got the size. I think it's a good fit for New England.
I like it. I've got Green Bay.
First of 2 picks. Olave off the board.
Yeah,
Olave's receiver.
Gone. Yeah, I think I am. I think I'm actually going to take Treylon Burks here. Just give him a big target. Think about all the smokes that Aaron Rodgers throws, just getting the ball out of his hands. You're going to be able to get the ball in that big dude's hands and let him run people over, make people miss, and he's going to get you a free 10 yards every single time. So I like Burks. I like that fit there.
Yeah, that is definitely a really good fit. He's so fun. The only concern, and Brett and I were talking about this, was, Burks came in like completely, I don't want to say completely out of shape. That might be a discredit to him, but, not exactly in playing condition, kind of underperformed expectations, but I don't know that he was ever going to be a 4.4 guy, but he plays so fast, which is
what's interesting is if you talk to the people in San Francisco, they'll tell you that Debo, when he was coming out and when they're around him, like they're kind of these guys kind of grew up in the country. Like there's a different body type to them. They're not eating weights all day long. These are just kind of like country strong kids that they might be a little bit fleshy here or there, but it all comes off as they go through training camp, go through the season, and they're ready to rock and roll. So this guy's out hunting boar with a knife while somebody else is in there doing crunches and doing lifting weights. But at the end of the day, I think I might prefer the guy to be out there getting in a field and jumping on the back of a boar with like he's Rambo. I think maybe that's not a bad thing.
Yeah, maybe a big difference between him and DK Metcalf. Both pretty good players, though.
Yeah, a little bit different there.
Yeah, Cardinals at 23. Love the corner still being available. Zion Johnson feels like some protection for Kyler Murray that probably would be well liked. George Karlaftis or Mafe, even if you want to bet on the upside.
Yeah.
Chandler Jones, and he's in Las Vegas now. JJ Watt's not really going to be the guy going forward. This is an interesting spot for the Cardinals. I think maybe an outside shot to be the first running back off the board, but it feels so early for a running back in general, and I would hate to draft a running back in the first round. I'm just not going to do that out of principle. So I'm going to go and I'm going to bet on... I've done Boye Mafe too much. I'm going to take Zion Johnson.
Okay.
Went back and forth there quite a bit.
Yeah, you did. You did a lot going on there.
Yeah, bouncing around.
All
It's
right,
called
the Cowboys.
ADHD.
Cowboys is me here. Pick 24. We talked about them on TV today. I talked about, you look at the offensive line. You've got Kenyon Green, who I think is just a really, really good fit for them. That's an option. I think getting more firepower with Jahan Dotson, throwing him in there with their group with CeeDee Lamb and Gallup would be kind of fun. But I just think there's a rusher there. I think you got to take the rusher. I'm going to take Karlaftis.
He kind of just feels like a cowboy. Oh, it's just like so cliche, but I mean,
no, he'll get a lot of one-on-ones. He'll be fine there. Yeah, I think Dan Quinn would appreciate just how hard he plays.
It's definitely fair. Bills at 25. This is another interesting one where I can't leave Booth on the board anymore. Corner is such a big need for Buffalo. I get maybe outside shot at a running back. Inevitably, one will always go in the first round, it seems. Maybe this is the year one finally doesn't. But Breece Hall is an interesting idea there, but I got to take Andrew Booth Jr. Tre'Davious White just needs some other guys around him. No more Levi Wallace. I mean, is Taron Johnson still there? I don't know, and even if he is, I don't care. Booth at 25 for me.
All right, now we get to 26. All right, let's have some fun here because nobody's talked about this team potentially doing this. If you look at Ryan Tannehill, he is like sneaky old. He's going to be 34 years old next year.
Yeah.
You look at his cap. I think his cap's at 36 this year. They could get out of it next year. It would be 18. They could spread that out. This is a team that, beat everybody in the AFC last year until they got to the postseason. You have 9 sacks, but he turns the ball over 3 times and you lose. You have a GM who just got a new contract. You have a head coach who just got a new contract. So there's some security and some patience there. If Malik Willis is there, I think that would be kind of intriguing. And they don't have to play him right away. They can sit him for a year and then have a cheap option with a kind of a unique skill set with a ton of upside in an AFC that's loaded with young talented quarterbacks. Why not? Let's surprise everybody, take a swing. I think you're gonna have to put Pickett there because we already have the thing there, but I think let's put the quarterback there.
All right, sounds good. We're going Malik Willis at 26. Hopefully through the magic of editing, that'll say Malik Willis. I can't make any promises. I only do this for a living.
But you haven't seen that anywhere, have you? I've not seen one person talk about the Tennessee Titans taking a quarterback.
I have seen the potential of it. Now, have I actually seen it in a mock draft? I don't get around like that, but I have heard, inklings of it, we'll say, but this is the first time I've actually seen it in a mock, and I don't think I've ever seen Malik Willis fall this far. No. So this is definitely the first time he's been connected there. Yeah, sometimes quarterbacks just fall, like Lamar Jackson. He went last pick, Ravens moved back up.
Ravens came back up for him.
He could have gone earlier. Maybe he could have fallen as well. But yeah, Malik Willis at 26. It's definitely fun, and this is the place to do it. It's a YouTube mock draft. It's not that serious. No one's coming for your job over this, I hope.
I think we'll be all right.
Yeah.
By the way, last year, for context, the 26th pick, if you just look at the pay, it was the AAV of 3.187. So
yeah, it's pretty cheap
from having a $36 million charge. And that's why I try to tell people it's not the comparison between Malik Willis and Ryan Tannehill. It's Malik Willis plus that gap in money and what you can do with it versus Ryan Tannehill.
And they brought in Robert Woods too. He's going to be an interesting weapon for him. Yeah, that's fun. Tennessee's weird. I feel like there's talk about A.J. Brown being moved. I want to say that's just the media trying to look for stories here this offseason.
I don't think that's happening. I don't see that one going down.
He's just too good. It feels like he's going to be the next to sign up.
He fits their identity too. He totally matches the identity of that team. Yeah.
Like that. Bucks at 27.
All right, it's all you.
It's got to be Kenyon Green for me here. Just protect Tom Brady, plug and play left guard. No Zion Johnson on the board. Ali Marpet kind of shock retires. I thought he was going to unretire with Tom Brady unretiring. He's only like 29, something like that. So
yeah,
he said, no, I'm done, which good for him. So Kenyon Green will be his replacement.
I like it.
Got Shaq Mason for nothing at right guard to replace Alex Kappa.
That was a bizarre trade. I don't understand it. Belichick confused me on that one, but
Sure, there's a
Um,
big plan.
who do I have? Green Bay here, 28.
Green Bay at 28, Traylon Burks at 22.
All right, went Burks 22. Um, who else do we have here? Gosh, I love the versatility and the talent with Zion Johnson here, but I think they go
One at
defense.
23.
Yeah. Oh, he did. That's right. That's right. Good call. I missed that one. Cross him off. Okay.
I've been flamed for Logan Hall in this spot before.
I like that. I like that. I'm going to go. You've got Boye Mafe out there. I'm going to go off the grid a little bit and with a different edge rusher. I'm going to go Arnold Ebiketie here from Penn State.
Redshirt senior. Now, I heard that Green Bay has an issue drafting some of the older players.
Some teams do. Some teams, that's part of their DNA is they don't want to draft guys. The Eagles were actually one of those teams where they paid attention to that. And I think that probably started when we took Danny Watkins as 25-year-old and it didn't work out. But no, this guy's a good player though, man. Like he's ready to roll. I think this team with Aaron Rodgers, like you want guys come in right now, immediate impact. I think if you go Burks and Ebiketie, you got guys that step on the field as rookies and have roles and got a chance to go chase a title here.
Yeah, I mean, you can't hate that. Especially, you can never have too many edge rushers. Rotational guy at the very minimum.
Yeah.
And I think the Chiefs are probably a little bit upset that you just did that with, I mean, they have back-to-back picks. I feel like edge might have been
my comp for him, I think, was Frank Clark. So
there you go.
That would have been interesting.
And Ebiketie isn't getting $30 million a year. I think Frank Clark just got reworked, though. I'm probably looking receiver here. And, man, I like the idea of going big here. And just getting, Pickens or Watson might be a little bit early for either for different reasons, but I feel like Christian Watson in Kansas City's offense, especially for someone who, has taken sweeps and stuff and jet motions and his return kicks. I feel like for a guy that size that can move like that, I mean, if you're getting Travis Kelce the ball out of the backfield sometimes, I think you could do a little bit of a similar thing with Watson on occasion, and that's just one of the many ways Kansas City can use him. So we'll take a deep threat and do that. I haven't seen that yet.
My comparison for Christian Watson, I thought he was a better version of Marquez Valdes-Scantling.
No, so they already have
him. They got both. Okay, who do I have now?
You have Kansas City.
Oh, we got back-to-back KC. Okay.
8 teams in the first round with multiple first-round picks.
Yep. All right. So you took care of that one with the wideout. I'm gonna come back. Go in a couple different areas here. I think you got it. Do we still have is Mafe still out there?
Mafe's still there.
Yeah, let's go ahead and plug him in. Take a shot.
Upside guy.
Yeah.
Bengals at 31. I really would like to mix this up. Linderbaum just feels like it makes too much sense. You went out and signed with Ted Karras in free agency. I don't really think that's your long-term center.
Yeah.
But I really would also love to upgrade on Eli Apple. So we're going to go ahead and take Kaiir Elam just to mix it up.
Yeah, there's some love on the streets for him.
I mean, if he can stay healthy, I think we're probably talking about him a little bit higher than just sneaking into the first round.
I've got Detroit, right? For 32.
Last pick of the mock draft here. A lot of talent still on the board.
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways we can go here, but I think I'm just going to take Jahan Dotson. I'm going to take the wideout and plug him in. Amon-Ra St. Brown was great last year, but let's plug him in and give him a shot. Plug him in with that offense, and
couldn't hurt to get some more speed out there.
Ready to go.
That's a pretty good trio for at least this next year. Yeah, you got Jahan Dotson. You brought in DJ Chark for a year if he can stay healthy, and then you have Amon-Ra St. Brown. This could be a really fun offense. So good potential there. Well, that's going to do it for this mock draft. This was an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for joining me. And all your links will be down in the description. I'm sure it won't do much, but hopefully you get something going on. Other than just people telling you you're a fool, which always makes me laugh. I get a great kick out of it.
These are fun. It's a good exercise, and it's good to catch up with you. We've got a chance to visit a little bit just through direct message and you know, that I think you do a great job, and it's a really cool thing that you built here. So it was fun, man. Hope everybody enjoyed it.
All right, awesome. Appreciate your time, and that's gonna do it. Thank you, guys.
Taking it back to the house. Defensive joke. I'm laughing so loud. Speed burst good.